on? Hello? Joey, I'm podcasting here. No, Wednesday.
Pantalones gratis.
Con Maccheroni Bologna.
Esto es Los Pantalones Libres de Podcast.
The Pants Free Podcast. Pantaloni Libero.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Pants Free Podcast. My name is Bologna's Francine Marconi, and I'm joined as always with my podcast compadre, Nick Miles.
I think podcast pals sounds a bit weird, so compadres is probably better.
Yeah, and when Nick talks his podcast compadres.
Podcast compadres.
So Nick had a big birthday over the last week. Did you do anything fun?
I'm not sure I would define it as big birthday, but it was a birthday.
What'd you do?
I was fat and lazy, just like the other 364 days in the year.
Did you lay around in the yard? What'd you?
Yeah, I just put a towel over my gubbins, tucked it into the roll, and just lay in the yard.
You're not going to tell us a thing you did. Did you not do anything?
No, I just very relaxed. Lowell took me out. We had Spaghetti Factory because I am a fan of the pasta. And we had some friends over. Rob, one of the computards, and Jessa came over, and we just hung out. And then on Saturday, I'd been out like with my parents for a birthday dinner and stuff. But my birthday was actually on the Monday, and so most people work on the Monday. But Lowell took the day off work, and things happened.
Oh, you had the sweet love makings,
And we cleaned the shower together.
Oh, wow, that's exciting. That's good times.
Well, it was good times.
You know, like George Takei on the Howard Stern Show talks about every Sunday is his day for him and Brad to get, spicy.
Right.
Do you have that kind of a schedule?
No.
No, you don't?
No, not at all. It's more of a spontaneous thing.
Oh, I see. So like, how often would you say that you get intimate with your Honduran lover?
I don't count.
You don't?
No.
Once a week, twice a week, 5 times a week?
Oh, a day, like 3 or 4 times a day.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Don't you?
My God.
You get spicy with your cats 3 or 4 times a day?
Oh, my God. 3 or 4 times a day. I am impressed, sir. That right there. Just write this down for the record. Nick
Feel a little bit embarrassed right now.
And why would you should be proud.
Why?
Because not everyone. I mean, how long have you been in the relationship?
May 10th, 1999. So what's that? 14 years?
In 14 years, most people, the first couple of years, most people are done. And most of them wouldn't last 14 years.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely don't let someone have a gay marriage because that would be awful. Right?
Right.
Oh my gosh! Well, congratulations. The 3 times a day, I'm proud to be your friend.
Yeah, 3 times a day is an off day.
This is why I can never get Nick on the phone. He's having sex.
I'll be there in a minute.
I was listening to Funemployment Radio with Greg Nibbler and Sarah Dillon. They had Rick Emerson on, who's been kind of away. And if you're in Portland, he was around Portland for a long time, and then he just kind of disappeared. And I know they were getting to the point of like what he's up to, but he is fascinated with the Dyson vacuum cleaner. Now, I don't know, Nick, do you have one of those? Or do you?
No, we actually we have the something called a Royale vacuum cleaner, and most people who know vacuum cleaners really well will know it's the best vacuum cleaner in the world.
Even better than Dyson?
Yeah, oh yeah, much better.
So
what Royale do in their tests in their showrooms is they'll take the Kirby, which is the door-to-door salesman guy.
Yeah, Rick talked about that in the podcast too, and they're like $3,000 or something.
Yeah, so they'll take the Kirby and they'll take the Dyson, and they'll take the Royal, and they'll put the ends together of each one, and to see which motor is stronger. And we watch the Royal suck everything out of the Dyson's bag down into the Royal. because its motor was strong.
like some kind of a vacuum porn or something.
Yeah, it is vacuum porn, and so they showed how much stronger the Royal is than anything else. Plus, it has triple seals, so you can never smell what's in the bag, which I really like too.
The Dyson claims that vacuums lose suction over time.
Yeah, they do. The motors get worn out.
Okay, so what about the Royal?
No, we have it serviced every year. We're on a service contract, but it'll still outsuck anything.
I think that should be our motto here on the Pants Free Podcast. We'll outsuck anything.
Pants Free Podcast. It'll outsuck everything.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes, but if you haven't and don't, you should check out the Funemployment Radio podcast. I love those guys. Funemploymentradio.com for Sarah and our friend Gregory.
Excellent.
So, Nick, anything exciting? I mean, because you do your videos. You are already up to your 1,000th video now, and you made a big deal, and like a whole and fireworks went off, and I think you sacrificed a bunny or something like that. I don't know what the whole details went into the whole thing.
Yeah, we just did a promo to say a 1,000th video is coming up, and we ran that, and then we ran the 1,000th video, and the best part of it is that we got a really cool car to do our 1,000th video with, which was a Bentley Continental GT convertible.
And you drove it off a cliff, like
Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
No, we didn't, because it was $277,995.
Oh, see, that's why it would be awesome to watch. I think, like, what are the Bentley people going to do? Like, they don't have your car.
Sue me?
You could say it wasn't me.
Yeah. The video might be used as
evidence. What you do, like, you wouldn't be driving it. Of course. I mean, don't you know stunt work? I mean, you're in television. Come on. By the way, Nick, our podcast each week is driven by bread.
I like it when it's driven by bread.
Yes, Dave's Killer Bread is amazing. If you had different breads side by side, and I'm not talking about your regular bread. I mean, if you really know bread, you know that you're not just going to get basic bread, right? Like, there are people, I can't believe this, that still get white bread. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, if you know how unhealthy it is. And also, picking your bread, I mean, processed whole grain bread is often, unless you buy something that's organic and natural, often is full of corn syrup. And that's one of the reasons I trust Dave's Killer Bread, is because it's made with those natural Oregon ingredients.
It's drug-free bread, really.
Right.
Because they say, just say no to bread on drugs. And Dave, of course, has a great story. His life story involves a lot of things that he's gone through to get where he is. And so there's all kinds of parts of the Dave's Killer Bread history that make me really love not only the bread, but just supporting a great company. Say no to bread on drugs. Dave's Killer Bread.
I like to call them good bread spreaders.
Here's the latest news from around the world, too, right in your own backyard.
Well, Nick, everybody waits for your breathiness to get on the mic and tell us what's going on this week in Pants Free News.
Well, there is definitely a lot of good pants-free news this week, and we head up the newscast this morning, this afternoon, or this evening, depending on when you're listening to the podcast, with AJ Clements.
Did you do that? That was a great DJ voice. AJ Clements, he's the guy that was on the YouTubes.
Yeah, with the North Dakota News anchor, the guy that was dropping all the foul language before.
Evening Report Sunday on NBC North Dakota News, your news leader in high definition.
Gay fucking shit.
Good evening, I'm Van Tu. You may have seen our newest AJ on NBC North Dakota News, and he'll be joining the weekend news team as my co-anchor. Tell us a little bit about yourself, AJ.
Thanks, Van. I'm very excited. I graduated from West Virginia University, and I'm used to, from being from the East Coast.
Yeah, well, it's his first day, and if you haven't watched the video, you should definitely go to YouTube and take a look at the video or you can go to the to our various Pants Free sites and look at the video. He basically did not realize that they were live. That is evident from watching the video.
Gay fucking shit.
Good evening, I'm Van 2. You may have seen our newest...
And he went ahead and was cussing under his breath because it looks like he's having some problems. And the anchor introduces him and he seems startled, like he had no idea that we were live and it was coming to you. The positive parts of this are... I mean, I thought, what a douchebag, first of all, when I first read the story, just purely because of his gay slurs. But when he explained what he was actually doing, it makes a lot of sense. And he seems like a bright young person, and he's going to get a good job because of this incident. But he was actually rehearsing the name of Tesgay Kebede, who is the winner of the London Marathon. And it sounds like he's cussing. Whereas one of the things he was doing is he didn't recognize the name. And then in there is an expletive as well, but he wasn't being negative towards the gay, lesbian, or bisexual community. The only thing that bothers me about him is he has a giant mole on his upper lip.
Would you suggest that be removed before he
Absolutely. That needs to be zapped off now. It's weird.
Is it a mole or a beauty mark? Like,
Well, it's the same thing. Mole and beauty mark are the same
so maybe he should keep it. Maybe ladies will, I love his mole.
I had one exactly in the same place.
Maybe he could just grow a mustache so he'll have that porn look.
We can wait until mustaches are back in, and then he can grow
What do you
one.
mean back in? They've been back in for years now.
Oh, they're out again. I've had a mustache. I've had a goatee. I've had various other shapes on my face. No,
I had a goatee at one time, and I look back at those times and I go, God, what a douchebag. No wonder people hated me.
It was because of the beard, clearly.
That's right. That's what it was.
It's the news.
So this woman calls 911 and asks police for help getting a refund from a drug dealer. And surprisingly, she ends up in jail.
911, what's your emergency?
I need assistance at Jim's, Lincoln, and Woodbury.
I know, what's
the problem? They stole my damn dollar. He won't fix my taco. I'm half over my chili. He's holding my $1.10.
Hold on, slow down. What's going on? Hello?
What did I say?
I can't tell. You're yelling.
I need assistance. I want my dollar and my taco.
You're having a problem with the taco?
The owner, the proprietor here.
You're having a problem with the taco?
I am. The owner, bitch. Pardon me.
Excuse me?
I am upset.
I know. You have to calm down and kind of tell me what's going on here now.
You don't listen to any goddamn thing I'm saying.
Oh, well, that's too bad, isn't it? I also found, Nick, you're not supposed to call 911 to ask if the police are hiring.
Are you drunk?
No, I am not a drunk.
Okay, then why don't you just start talking a little bit?
You get your motherfucking ass over here.
Slow down. I need some information from you, so slow down.
You bring your ass and get my motherfucking taco out of here.
My ass is staying in the office here. You need to. You need to calm down and tell me something here.
American Idol, as if we didn't know this show was already on its way out. It looks like there is maybe a change at the helm of the show.
Why do they keep doing it? Do they feel like they have to do this?
No. So it's a business decision, and I can explain it to you very simply that this is the show that, even though it's down spiraling and it used to command 20% of the TV audience, it's now down below 10%. If I was Mariah Carey or I was Ryan Seacrest or Nicki Minaj or Keith Urban, I'd be out of that show because the last thing you want to be is involved in the show as it tanks.
10% of the audience or whatever, it's still doing better than like 90% of the things on TV, right?
Yeah, that's 7 times better than, some shows do.
So what is it about that? Like, it's because it's had so much success that now it's considered a failure?
Because it's potential. It's audience potential. So if you're looking at, Fox held the position where they had 20% and now they're down to 10%, they need to find a way to get back to 20%, and this show won't do that because it's old and it's tired. I'm kind of done with this kind of show. I'm going back to listening to music made by kids in the basement, which is much better than some of these guys who win these competitions.
There's a guy on YouTube named Michael Thompson that does all the sounds and everything with his mouth, and he recreates popular songs, and some of his songs are 10 times better than the original.
He's not the guy that does Chocolate Rain, is he?
No, that's Tazon Day. That was like 10 years ago. Come on.
I knew that.
I primarily watch
chocolate rain.
I watch more web series on and video series of YouTubers than I do any one television show. YouTube has better content than television. We're in 2013 and people are still like, yeah, haha, you're on YouTube. You do ha. I mean, don't use my videos as an example. But Nick, you produce content on YouTube that's better television than most TV.
We're actually changing. We're changing our stuff up quite drastically this year.
I'm terribly sorry. Well, it was a good run.
When news breaks, we're the first there to mock it.
Talking about music, Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark, is talking about reuniting with the Funky Bunch to do a fundraiser for Boston.
Yeah, because he figured, I don't really remember anything about them except for they had a song called "Good Vibration."
No, that's how Mark Wahlberg got his start. I mean, they did pretty well. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, they had a bunch of songs.
They did? Okay, what other songs?
Would have to look them up.
Here are some songs. I don't. "Good Vibrations," that one I know. "Wild Side," "You Gotta Believe."
If you play them to me, I'll probably recognize.
All right, here we go. This is "Wild Side." Let's see if I can. Oh, yeah.
All the fellas singing nickel and dime. Tales about love and lust and trust. But Annie took it all in stride, cause deep inside, Annie had aspirations. Besides that, she had expectations.
Yeah, I don't remember that, do you?
No.
I mean, the only one I remember is "Good Vibrations." I like having the video camera to be able to see Nick twerk to that song.
Oscar winner Reese Witherspoon managed to get herself arrested.
Yeah, I guess her husband was loopy on the sauce and got a DUI.
Right.
And then she protested the police officer, and the police officer, how dare he not recognize who she was?
Right.
By the way, why would a police officer know who Reese Witherspoon is?
Right. They may or they may not. You know.
I mean, the only movie I could see that a guy wouldn't mind admitting that he knew about would be like the Johnny Cash movie.
The best person to ever pull the stunt, "You Know Who I Am," I saw this in a video, and it was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. Actually, it was a photograph, I think, with the story attached. Some guy came up to the counter of an airline and wanted to be rerouted. And,
yeah, are you going to tell the entire story from last week's podcast?
Do we have that on last? I don't remember that.
Nick doesn't listen to the podcast, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm terribly not a fan. I save my podcasts for traveling, and then I can be entertained.
Well, that was the entire podcast last week.
Anyway, so there you go. Why would you listen again when I can repeat it for you?
Just tell this. Is that everything according to your pants?
Yes, my pants are now completely empty.
Well, thank you, Nick, for another week in Pants Free News. And if you want to check out Nick's video, his 1000th video, where he drives a very expensive car off a cliff, it's pretty exciting to watch. YouTube.com/Nick J. Miles. Nick is spelled N-I-K. Yeah. And for all things Pants Free Podcast, in fact, we should just put a Pants Free Podcast link on our website.
Right. I'm actually not promoting my 1000th video, so I'll know if you've watched it or not.
Oh, you purposely not promoing it? What do you mean?
I'm not starting to promote it yet. I'm going to see how many people from the Pants Free Podcast now get involved.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah.
You're screwed now.
There'll be 3 people.
For all the things, including Nick's 1000th video, we're going to post it on pantsfreepod.com. If you don't check it out, someone else will.
Yeah, someone else might take your position and check it out. So
yes.
You may lose your checking out privileges.
For another fine edition of the Pants Free Podcast, I'm Belonius Francine Marconi, along with Nick J. Miles, who's saying,
I am not wearing pants for the 1,000th time.
Pantalones a libero.
Hands-free podcast.
Hands-free podcast. Hands-free podcast. Hands-free podcast.